What is going on, people of the internet? My name, of course, is Panther. Welcome your faces back to the channel once again. Today we're going to be discussing some of my thoughts and concerns for the new Black Ops 4 Zombies maps and upcoming season of map releases. Now, please watch through the entire video. There are going to be some points that I make that probably you guys agree with. There may be some points that you guys disagree with. So please post in the comments below if you agree or disagree with some of my points. And if I miss something that you guys are concerned about, definitely post that too. I want to be talking with everyone. I want to see your thoughts and opinions about Black Ops 4 Zombies. Now let's just jump into the one main big concern I have for the community. Then we'll talk to Treyarch after. But to everyone in the community, Treyarch is creating a brand new story. We need to be open and accepting of the new story. If we're not, then that story and those maps will be terrible, because if there is a push and pull, a tug of war between thoughts and ideas with Treyarch and the community, the new maps and the new story they are creating will fall flat. That is a huge concern that I have, because as people, we are not open to change. People and humans hate change. We like being comfortable, we like knowing exactly what's going to happen, and we've had a huge ether story for the last 10 years. Good lord, 10 years. That is a long time for one single story to develop. And it's incredible to see over the span of this 10 years how interested and how invested we are into the story Treyarch has created. So with that in mind, we have only seen 2 maps from the new Chaos story. We've seen 9 and Voyage. We haven't even played the maps. We haven't really heard much about the story or really what is going to be happening within the story. We know a couple of things, but that's really it. So with that in mind, we've only seen 2 maps. If there's something in these maps that you guys do not like, do not yell, do not demand at Treyarch that they change everything instantly, because that is going to completely ruin the flow and the idea that Treyarch has for these maps. Obviously, we know Jason Blundell and Craig Houston, they have their ideas. They know exactly how they want this new story to go. Instead of cleaning up all of the old ties from Jimmy Zielinski, they can start fresh, they can start brand new. They don't have to dive into multiverse ideas just to try to fix and retcon things. So let's all just take a step back. If there's something we don't like, if it's a fair and valid point, sure, we can talk to Treyarch about it. But if it's something you don't like just because it's different, then piss off. I'm sorry, but we just need to be more open and accepting to the new story. I don't see why it's getting so much hate. I just don't understand it. Anyways, mini rant over. Now let's talk to Treyarch. There are some concerns that I have for Black Ops 4 in the upcoming season. My main biggest concern is the Ether story compared to the Chaos story. We know that Treyarch did say that they are going to be 2 separate stories. However, if down the road they try to intertwine the stories, it's going to set a lot of people loose. And this is a huge point that I need Treyarch to understand. Do not merge the 2 stories. The Ether story is off in its own multiverse. The Chaos story is off doing its own whatever. We have yet to really find out what's going on. But if you try to merge the 2 and combine them into one story, it's not gonna work, it's gonna be terrible, and it will definitely fall flat, and the community will strongly dislike it. Because why would we want some new characters in this story that we've already developed that is supposed to already be finished out with Revelations? So please do not merge the stories. And when it comes to the Chaos versus Ether, don't make the characters too similar. Obviously, we know Shaw is kind of the genius. He's the little scientist, gizmo, gadget guy, similar to Richtofen, and it sounds like he has sort of the same ideology as Richtofen. In one of the trailers, he says something that sounds exactly like a Richtofen quote. He says, "It's not a matter of where, but when," after Diego asks where they are. That is very similar to Richtofen, and if that's the case, us as a community are going to want to see Richtofen back. We're not going to want to play with these new characters if they remind us of the old ones, because we're just going to be like, why would we want to play with the new characters that pretty much remind us exactly like the old ones when we could just play as the old ones? If Shaw is similar to Richtofen so much, we're just going to ask for Richtofen. We're going to say, screw the Chaos story, go back to Ether, just give us our old characters, screw the story. It's just, ugh. It's gross, and it really upsets me that that may actually be a thing. So please do not make the Chaos Story characters similar to the Ether Story characters. My next concern is wonder weapons. Now, we have not seen really anything when it comes to wonder weapons for the maps, and that's fine, that's cool. You know, we haven't actually gotten to play with the maps, we haven't gotten very many trailers for them. However, Treyarch did release those specialist weapons that we will be seeing, you know, like the staff, the sword, you know, those spinny discs. Well, I can't remember what they're called, which is kind of embarrassing. But with that being said and that being kept in mind, look at the trailers. It doesn't look like we have anything similar to wonder weapons. We only have those weapons that we've seen, and it looks like they are going to be traveling across maps because those are the special weapons for the specific characters. And if that's the case and there are no specific wonder weapons per map, that's going to be extremely disappointing, because one of the main standouts from every zombies map is it has its own specific wonder weapon, and sometimes even has its own specific set of weapons in general. Obviously, we can't play with the Marshall 16s on any other map than Zetsubo, which I think is cool. That's why I play Zetsubo, because I love the Marshall 16s and I especially love pack-punching them. But if we're just getting these special weapons every single map with every single character and no wonder weapon, that's going to be extremely disappointing, because what's the point of making a different map if there's not different weapons and different variety to play with? We've seen that gut-busting alien-looking dude in both 9 and Voyage, and so I don't see what's really being compared differently to these maps if they're pretty much got the same bosses and if they've got the same weapons. There's no reason to really play one or the other map. I can definitely see why we want to have specialist weapons so we can bring in our favorite weapon to use in every single map, but if they're only limited to a specific character that we can play as, and if you can't get it just through the map itself, that's going to be highly disappointing, and that will really upset a lot of people, especially me, because I want to play with specific weapons. Der Eisendrache, for example. The bows on that map really make it. If it were not for the bows and we just had specialist weapons in Black Ops 3, Der Eisendrache would really be nothing special. It would just be another snow map set in a castle, and that would really be it. There would be nothing setting that map apart from Origins if the staffs weren't in that map. They're both snow, they both have cool settings, they both have panzers. There really is nothing different from those maps than the wonder weapons, so we need to see wonder weapons for maps specifically. And my last point is the Gobblegum, or whatever mini perk system they will be using. Milo made a video on this already, kind of discussing what Treyarch said to him, but there have been leaks, and a little bit of a mini spoiler warning. There were leaks about things in zombies, and they pertain to things like common, epic, rare, and so that really concerns me. If we're gonna have another year of quote-unquote Gobblegums, just because we don't know what they're gonna be called, and they're super overpowered, it will be so disappointing and it will make the game too easy. I have a clip here of why Black Ops 3 is easy. Look at this. I mean, it's just dead wire and a shield. I'm not even using a Gobblegum. I mean, obviously I have the Gobblegum in there, but I didn't use the Gobblegum. So if we have another purchasable mini perk system, it's going to be the downfall. We need to just kind of have classic maps. I can see if they want to do something small, like every time you hit the box, you'll get this specific weapon. That would kind of be a cool thing, kind of like World War II has. But if we get a Gobblegum system that's completely broken, that is going to absolutely suck major balls, because there are some overpowered broken Gobblegums. Raindrops, Power Vacuum, Perkaholic pretty much became useless after DLC 4 and 5. I mean, if Perkaholic is useless compared to other Gobblegums, that means you got some pretty broken Gobblegums. And even zombie leaderboards, they ban specific Gobblegums because they're so game breaking. So please, Treyarch, whatever you do, don't make your purchasable zombie in-game system super broken, super overpowered. Just please don't. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, that's really all I have for today. Those are my thoughts and concerns about Black Ops 4 Zombies. If I missed something that you guys are slightly concerned about, definitely post that in the comments below. I want to see what you guys are all thinking. Anyways, thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to like, favorite, and subscribe. Favorite. Are there still favorites on YouTube? I honestly don't know. Anyways, thanks guys. Have a great day. See you in the next one.